I think at least in Fechter, we will use it in certain aspects of it, and it might be helpful within your framework and your work, what you're doing as well. So I will soon share the screen as soon as I have this up and running. Okay. Good. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay. Okay. I think that you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
At least. Okay. Good. So I would like to talk you through a project that is called VISKI. And here I say it's beyond degrees, making skills in rural areas visible. And it's about kind of completing or adding on to university degrees or certificates or your school degrees and those kind of things that kind of captures skills and competences that are transversal, so which means that they are cross-cutting through any topic and any area of vocation. So you those are kind of future skills that you need in any type of job. And just quickly to the VISKI project, it is an Erasmus Plus project. It's been going on for the last 2 years and will end in March. And there was the University of Fechter, so Trendy, in it, and we are the lead of it. And the Hanse University of Groningen was in it. We had an Irish company which is called Digital Technology Skills, and they are a company that create learning contents for industry. And we have Vilnius Tech, a university from Lithuania. And the problem that we tried to address was that we wanted to create a digitalized project-based competency representation. So if you read things from the EU about education, it's also about the recognition of informal and non-formal activities that kind of adds to your long life learning. And it's always difficult to show what you have done next to your formal education. So this is what the project deals with. How can we actually make this visible, what you do in a non-formal and informal way? And this is one thing, and one solution would be a portfolio. And this is what it is as well. It's a digital portfolio, but also we combine it with an evaluation or assessment or feedback for giving these competences that you show in your informal and non-formal learning, to give them a rating, so to complement your CV or resume when you apply for a job. And I think it will become, I would like to show you how we do it. And already started. So what we have here is John, just to symbolize that we as a learner, it could be a student from university, but anyone learning on the job as well, maybe wants to apply for a new job position within their company, but maybe for the first time. So he has his personal achievements, like what I said, certificates, degrees, and he puts it all together and puts it in a CV. But he's so much more. He has so many personal achievements that he has done. And he might want to show that he's a fantastic problem solver and that he's very creative and that he's a team player. And nowadays you can only state it in the CV and maybe try to back it up with examples. And this is where VISKIO comes in place, where we try to, on the one hand, make it very easy and visual to show your strengths in kind of personal competences, to kind of make yourself the ideal or the ideal person for a new job, to show, okay, I not only have the financial skills that I've shown in my certificate, but I also am a very good communicator, and so those kind of things. So as far as we know, there have not been a very proper or perfect way of demonstrating this. And at VISKIO, at the project, we created a tool that I will come to in a minute, which is called the VISKIO tool, the Visible Skills Portfolio. And we also set up a starter kit for that, which kind of explains the whole mechanism around that, the concept around it, because it is based on challenge-based learning, so that you actually have ideally a real-life scenario, a challenge, a task that you work on, and you explain the process and show your end results. Some universities or teachers already use these kind of concepts, the challenge-based learning, and we picked it up and said, okay, we want to integrate that into a digital world as well. And we created a challenge catalog where teachers can also get inspired. How can I actually set up a challenge? Because if you do it at the same time, you just have to think a little bit differently. If you're not just thinking about, okay, how I want my students to have an assessment to fill in, but I would like to base it around a challenge. And the guidebook shows you how you can use it in VISKIO or in any other platform. For example, YouTube as well. If you say, okay, I set you a challenge and you create a video, you can upload it on YouTube and I see what you've done. This is kind of a portfolio as well. And VISKIO kind of adds the advantages of YouTube and rating systems and put them all together. So we've created a VISKIO platform, which deals with this learning, road to learning and road to your competences. And basically the heart of the system, and I will show you in a minute in the live system, is this skills portfolio. You have these honeycombs here. There are 12 honeycombs, and each honeycomb represents one skill or competency. In general, these, we haven't made them up, but there are 12 competences that were brought up by the 21st century skills, which was a very, very big international research that dealt and asked employers as well as educators, what are the future skills that will be needed in any job? So you have, for example, communication or, as I said, problem solving, but also something like media literacy and ICT literacy, information literacy, working with others, taking on different perspectives, cultural skills, decision-making. These are the main skills that are on there. And you have them represented in each of these honeycombs to make it visible and easily approachable. For example, you see here that this communication honeycomb is highlighted, and in the platform, when you click on it, you see, okay, I've got an overall skill rating of 6. The rating is from 0 to 10, from 0 being non-existent to 10 absolutely ordinarily brilliant. And works related to the skills, you see here it's a 2. So I've actually finished 2 challenges where my communication skills were created. And I received 2 ratings for that. So it could be a little bit more to show, and only 6 is a little bit low. Maybe I want to do another challenge that boosts my rating. And if my rating goes up, then the turquoise kind of watermark there will fill up the honeycomb. So the higher the watermark, the better the rating. So here I got even a very low rating on creativity, for example. So that was our aim, to actually have that you have a certificate, a one-pager that visualizes what you've done, how good you are in some of the skills. And how does the platform do that? Behind this rating and this visualization of the skill, there are challenges, as I said, and you can see them down here in the platform. I will show you how it works in live, but I think it's very useful to just get the concept correctly. So behind this skills, you have 2 projects here that I've done, and within these projects, not the results were rated, but how I dealt with communication, how good were my communication skills were rated. And I did kind of these 2 projects to demonstrate my communication skills. And you add it all together, and then it comes up with 1 mark. You have, for the rating system, you have a peer rating. So whenever you create a challenge for a group of learners, as we have done in university, for example, we have a seminar and we set up a challenge for this type of group of learners. Each learner is asked to rate the other one's skills as well. So it's a feedback rating system, and it's an expert rating system as well, because if I, as a teacher, set up a challenge and I can say, yeah, and I want to have another professor that rates it as well, and I invite him or her as an expert. And then the system distinguishes and counts it as double, so that it doesn't mean that if you have 1,000 friends who rate you with a 10, but the expert says no, it's just a 2, then it means you create an average of the peer group, which is a 10, and then you have an average of the experts, which is maybe a 3.5, and the 3.5 is counted double, and the peer group is only single, so that you kind of reduce this bias a little bit. That's the idea and mechanism behind it. And how do we bring it into our region, and why is it important for SIRR, or how do we use it? One example that we're currently doing is with one of our schools, and probably Anna talked to you about the connections that we have with the school and what we do with them already. And in SIRR, we want to bring all the different stakeholders together, and it's the education institutions and the industry and the learners and the community and all what you can think of. And this is a tool where we can bring them a little bit closer together. For example, they actually do right now. They just finished it yesterday. The school has a sustainability certification program with learners on the course who are in the German system. We have a kind of an apprenticeship system where they work in a company and they go to school once or twice a week. And this kind of school we approached, and they had to do a real life challenge on their industry, on their employer, and where they created a challenge, or the challenge was like, please pick a sustainable strategy in your company and develop some tools or some how do you say, some ways of improving this sustainability aspect. For example, this was a real life scenario, and the students are working on it at the moment. The idea behind that is that we will also invite the industry actually to set up those kind of challenges so that they can bring their knowledge and what do they need from learners and from their employers as well, because they're already employed in there. What do they actually need to know, and because they want to have learners that are very practically oriented. And so this tool facilitates the learning between the industry and the school and the learner, and also the university, as we are from the university are kind of involved as well, and are invited for the presentation of the results, and we are invited to give a rating to the challenge as well. So it kind of brings these different stakeholders together. This is one example that I will show you in a minute, and the other one is our summer school as one example is how we use it in university. We have a summer school on Sardinia every September, and we invite an industry partner. In this year, it was the Dinamo Baskets, which is a professional sports club from Sardinia, and they set up the challenge, please develop an idea or a project with a goal to strengthen and widen the links of the Dinamo Baskets with the Sardinian community. And it should have an environmental focus. So the students got there for a week. They got different challenges through VISKI, where they were asked of brainstorm your ideas, develop a stakeholder mapping, and finally present your pitch. And then they kind of record it and upload it. And through the tool, you bring the different stakeholders together, that they actually can see Dinamo Baskets not only give the challenge, but they also see the progress and the process, how it comes to the pitch, and it combines and brings everyone together, and it's not a black box anymore. If you just as a teacher think of a challenge and the students do it, and then you come out and present it once. So this is how we implement VISKIO in our learning. Good. Okay, before you do that, I will take you to the platform itself. Okay. This is the starting page of the platform. It's live already as well. It's visk.io is the URL. I will show you that in a minute as well. I'll just log on. I created an account, and obviously this is kind of a demo account as well. And you register to that account, and then you have the option to set up a challenge, but also to work on a challenge and present your skills. So every user actually has the same rights, because you as a lifelong learner can be a student, but you can also be a teacher, and you can also be a professional either at the same time or during the lifespan of your learning process. And in this platform, we distinguish between if you go into the role of a challenge giver as a teacher, for example, or if you are a challenge taker. And you can also challenge yourself if you say, I want to apply for a job and I haven't shown that I'm really a team player. So I set up my own challenge, I complete it, I have people rating it, and then I can show it to my future employer. I go to my portfolio that you've just seen on the screen in the presentation, and here you see the honeycombs, and you click on it, it kind of adds up. You see, okay, I've done one more skills, my rating hasn't gone any better, but well, okay. These are the projects that I've done by tackling or to show my communication skills. Then I can also have a look at the skill area and see what have the others done in terms of communication, for example. These are all projects that were being done. I can see, for example, oh, that was a nice one here. I was in a theater and I showed my creativity. I showed the ICT literacy and the communication skills. You can see from the boxes, you have all the important information. The green button up here shows that the challenge is already closed, so I can't work on it anymore. It's been extremely well rated with a 9.9. 9 people have seen it. And yeah, if I want to have a look, okay, what have this person actually done? Why have they got such a good rating? And I would like to do the same. I could just have a look and see what they've done. So, and I would like to take you through the journey of setting up a challenge, because I really would like to get your view on whether it could be a useful tool for you to use as well, with the aim, or with a SIRR aim, to bring the stakeholders closer together. Before I do that, I just quickly show you, this is, for example, the challenge of the school that I just showed you, with the R strategies, with the sustainability certificate. There are 5 results in there at the moment, and you can see who has created it, whether it's visible or not. Because I am part of the group, I can see it. Any other, if you would register, you wouldn't see it, because they wanted to have a safe learning environment. Okay. So what you have to do is actually you just create a new challenge, and you see that you can either set up a challenge that I myself want to tackle, or I want to set up a group challenge for a group of learners, or I would like to set up a public challenge. The public challenge is that whoever registers to VISKIO can see this challenge and take on this challenge. This is actually quite useful when you think of, or actually when we think of the work of our hub, we would like to use these public challenges a little bit, because whenever we talk to the industries and find out, or to municipalities and find out what are your thoughts, what type of problems do you have, what would you like to communicate to the society, or maybe even get the feedback on that. For example, if a municipality wants to rebuild their communal garden, for example, and they just say, give a challenge and say, upload your ideas, what can we improve in the communal garden, and give us your thoughts. So they can actually set it up, and anyone from society can take on this challenge. From a university perspective, we will use it and lead the learners through this experience, and use this challenge, this real life challenge, to teach them sustainability and, of course, the skills that can be shown on VISKIO as well. So I pick a group of learners here, because I just would like to leave it in our group. You just have to give it a title. And I would like to challenge you to show me your green work desk. And what do I mean with that? I've prepared that in advance, so I have a very easy challenge for you if you want to take it up. Show that you think sustainably when it comes to your direct working area. Make a photo of what is sustainable where you are sitting at your desk. Upload it to this challenge and compete it with your group learners. So what could you show through this. You can show how creative you are. You can show your abilities, how to use a simple camera on your phone, and you can show that you're a problem solver because maybe you have created your desk from a pile of wood that was not being used anymore. I don't know, something like that. So the challenge closes today, and I would like to see your creativity, how you can use your camera. So these are all the 12 competences that can be picked. And you're a critical thinker and a problem solver. Good. So I've created a challenge now, and I can also upload an image. This one, for example. You can see here a desk which was made of wood that's not really being used anymore. I can give it a hashtag so that people who are interested in sustainability issues can actually find it. And the photo has is only a title photo. So I save the changes. This is my challenge that I've already created. It's already live now. And I can just easily share it with you now. Either I can invite an invitation link, and I will put it in the chat. Well, however, I do that here. I will share it with you in the chat in a minute. Or you can type in the invitation code. So if you want to try it out, you can do it right now. And just enter visk.io. I've sent it in the chat. If you create an account, and then you can access the challenge that I've just sent you. And so either you log in yourself, you can try. It should be relatively quickly. That you just enter the page, and then you say register, and you just have to give your email and a password and log in. And once you're logged in, you can click on the challenge link. And then you have to, or you can accept the challenge itself, and then you are part of the challenge. So
I don't have any challenges in my challenges.
Yeah, you have to click on, because I don't know that you're part of the group and the system doesn't know it. So you have to click on the invite link that I also put in the chat.
Yeah, that's what I pressed, but maybe I can press it again or something.
Yeah, I had to press it twice.
Oh. Yeah, now it works.
So that's actually how it works. And the completion of the task, I mean, it's relatively just, if you want to do it, you can do it. Just upload or take a photo. Maybe you have a plant or something recycled, reused, or anything around you that you can take a photo and upload it yourself, and with a short description. And don't forget a hashtag, and then you can save it. I always advise, if you write a little bit more, but you shouldn't do it now, but if you write a little bit more in the description, just to save in between. And then once you're ready, you press the publish button. You can also, if you want to try, you can also try just do it without an image or something, just to hand it in, and then you can see that the group can actually rate it and everything, and you can see it from the group. I don't know if you are you doing it right now. Then I'll shut up for 2 minutes. Otherwise, I keep talking. I just log in with a different user and do it myself. Okay. So if you look at my screen now, you should all have gotten something like that you've got invited by me, and would you like to join? And if you accept the invitation, then it will take you to the challenges and progress. Oh yeah, I see that you've already done it. Oh, Emma already completed it. You're quick. Good. So you can see here, I'm now logged in as a fellow participant, as a challenge taker. So I've taken on the challenge myself. And I see that you are taking part, but I can't really have a look at it now. That will change as soon as the challenge expired. Is anyone doing this challenge right now, or do you want me to continue?
I'm doing it at the very moment. It took me a bit of time to upload my image because my internet it's kind of bad, but I'm on it.
That's a surprise. Germany is really bad at that. So we are currently in the process of thinking of parts within the university, but also with our stakeholders, where we can integrate this tool in order to use it to bring the different stakeholders closer together. Because as we all know, or we experienced it at least, it's always very difficult to bring everyone into one room if you want to work on something. So we felt that there is a need to have a digital tool of working. And the reason why we combined it with the assessment of the transversal skills is that we would like to encourage learners to deal with real life challenges and to have an incentive to do these kind of projects. Because the reason why actually the people who came up with this idea of this tool, they were fed up with the answer or with the question from the students, do we get ECTS points for that? or what do we need to learn for the assessment, for the upcoming test, those kind of things. So the teachers were fed up with students who just saw their certificates rather than what they can actually that they can actually have an impact for real life organizations by taking on challenges and projects that are given to them, because it always means more work to do. And we wanted to give them an incentive to do that. So an incentive that they can actually see, if I take on a project and I'm not going the easy way of just taking a test and then it's done and I get my certificate or my ECTS points, but I go this process of having maybe a practical project where I spend more hours. But I also have in the end not only the ECTS points, but I also can demonstrate and fill my portfolio that I can show that I'm actually able to deal with complex projects, that I can show that I'm actually in a real life working environment, that I'm able to transfer the knowledge that I have to the real world. And this was the idea behind this. And that's why it is linked to the competences and the rating of the competences. But at the same time, it kind of opens up doors to getting closer involved with all different stakeholders in your area. And that's what we're noticing now. The platform was just being set up live a couple of weeks ago. And we have had a lot of organizations and people interested in this tool and asking how they can implement it in their way of working, because they see really a potential to bring the learners and the organizations closer together, and make it a win-win-win situation for all parties involved. So at least here in our part, in our region, within our stakeholders surroundings, we have a couple of not only ideas, but certain ways where we want to integrate it. It might be interesting for you as well, and I would be happy to take you through this journey if you think, oh, this might be a nice solution because I don't get the people through the door, and I would like to help industry maybe get involved with the community, or help municipalities to get involved, or your own hub. And yeah, and obviously those challenges that you pose, they can be very simple just to get people engaged, but they could, of course, be very complex. We have from our partners in VISKIO, we have challenges that are very long, very comprehensive, and that takes a while to fulfill. But in the tool, we've left it open how you want to use it. It's just important to say, okay, it's not being rated what the end result is, but it's being rated what kind of competencies you've shown. Yeah. I'll have a look if some of you have completed it and were successful and complete. Wow, good. Okay. What I do now, I'll do a little trick here. I go back to the challenge and edit the challenge. Oh no, I have to go and enter my other account now again to do that. Oops. Oh, that's not right. Wrong one. This one. Okay, that's where it is. I just edit the challenge and I put the date back to yesterday so that the system thinks it's being closed. So now you can see the submission deadline was yesterday. And if you now enter the challenge, oh no, that was the wrong one because it's closed. Here it appears in my challenges to rate, because now it's finished. I can't change the challenge anymore, and you as a challenge taker can't change your work in it anymore. So now I can provide feedback. I can see the 4 results to the challenge, and I will have a look at each of these at the recycling bin. And you see on the bottom right corner that you can then rate the different skills. And you can do it for all of that. So you
should
can
have put all of them on 10.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course I should. I'm sorry, Marcelo. I don't know. I'm not thinking about that. No, obviously it was really great. Oh, look, I managed to do 8.3 and 8.3. Oh, that was okay. That's good. So you can rate them, and you as a challenge taker, because you were in this group of learners, you can rate yourselves as well, the other work results. And me as the challenge giver, because I've given you this challenge, I can also invite expert feedback. It's the same mechanism. I create a link, send it to the expert. They have to be logged in and registered, and they can then see this challenge and the results, and they can rate as an expert. That's how it works. So I just wanted to show you that it's fairly easy to use. And I hope you had the same impression. And I'm curious of if you could think of some application, how you could use it, or if it's of any use in your context. Yeah, that's me. I can go to my last. We've done this. So you did your first challenge. Well done. And that's me. So if you think it could be worthwhile for SIRR, and we can integrate it somehow, give some examples, 0 examples maybe, what we've done during the SIRR project, and have it rated. This could be one way of communicate it out to the world, share it, maybe ask for feedback. If we think of best practices, for example, maybe that's something that we can think of. Yeah. Maybe the other universities taking part in this project might have some ideas how to use it as well, because I think it's in an education context, this VISKIO tools is strong if you have maybe people send or students send out to do practical work. That's the main thing. Of course, you can always upload what you've done at university yourself if you think it's worthwhile and show some other competencies. But I think this is where it plays the strengths. And for SIRR, we can combine it with SIRR questions and challenges that we have, and maybe have students working on it or the society working on it. So if I'm really curious to hear your thoughts and open up the discussion, and let me know if we should follow this up and maybe have during the lifespan of SIRR use it as a tool to engage with some stakeholders. Let me hear what you think. The floor is yours. Marcelo.
Yeah, I just think that it's quite similar to the way that we work, actually. We also, like, it's not the same, but and you can't really like see what the students send in except for what we ourselves receive, but we usually like have the problem up on the page where the students can apply, and then when they've applied, they usually send a report to us, and we usually kind of put like certain tags on these students to kind of have an indicator on what the student knows. So in case we have another project that we think is relevant to the student, we can usually like ask them if they want to be a part of that, or if we have a company that reaches out to us, we can also like tell them that that student has those skills. So it's a bit similar to what we do, but we don't really have this type of platform where it's open, where you can publish like, so everyone can kind of go in and have a look at what others have done. And I think that's quite useful because you can also, as a student, depending on how long the project is, also get inspired of other students' work or what's already like in there. I think if you can you see the projects that have been published before the deadline or not?
No, you can. You have to be registered to
Mhm.
see any of those. But
Yeah.
if I would like to have just a group challenge and
Mhm.
create a safe learning environment, me as a learner can say, okay, because it involves taking photos of you or making videos, and
Mhm.
you're maybe not, I would like to keep it in a safe place. I can, as a challenge giver or as a teacher, decide it stays within the group, so only the group can
Yeah.
see those challenges. Or what I would advise to do is the teacher says although it is a group challenge, you as a challenge taker, as someone who's uploads the result, can decide whether it will be public for other VISKIO users or not.
Mhm.
So you
Mhm.
click the, I haven't given you the option, but if I've set
Yeah.
up a different tick, then I leave it up to those ones who respond to it. So if they want to show it and showcase it and they're really good, like to have it published, then anyone using VISKIO and who's registered can see that.
Okay.
And you
Yeah.
can also, you have this public challenge where any results are public anyway.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So there are different options how you can use it.
Yeah.
But, and obviously, if I've attended 10 groups of learners and they've always used VISKIO, then I see all of those. So it comes, if you use it and keep using it, then kind of see quite a lot.
I can continue then. And first, thank you very much, Iris. This was a really, really good tool, I must say, and I got so many ideas, coming up in my mind or head about how you could apply it. And I already started or wanted to start a challenge with my colleagues here in the hub, because it was such a great tool just to also create a nice atmosphere, at the office and with your colleagues, connected to different things. So yeah, I think it could be, of course, applied for many different things. Just have to consider and think about, what and how and why and when and what actors to involve as well, of course. But I was also thinking about some questions. First, I understood that the tool is open, like for everyone. Is this also like a long-lasting tool? Like, will it always be there? Oh, that's cool. And can you also like create
At least the next 5 years.
the 5 years? Oh, good.
Oh no, it should be there longer, but it's because it's not gonna be. It's open for everyone. It's now live in public, and the University of Fechter kind of does the hosting and the support and everything that they've agreed to do it for the next 4 years, I think. And then we need to see who picks it up and if there is an organization taking it on, and we're having a lot of conversations about that at the moment, then so it will continue to be there.
Oh, that's great. And I will for sure share this video, a recording with some colleagues of mine. But also, I also got ideas connected to the school and to skills in general in Sotenäs, because we are like lacking, or a lot of businesses are lacking skills or competences and those kind of things. But I don't know, like in the system, like the skills are already there. Could you also like be more specific about what skills are needed in the area? Like if you ask businesses, what kind of skills do you need for your employees? And then the schools can kind of create challenges connected to that.
Well, we had a lot of discussions around that. And obviously, if you can, I mean, there are thousands of different skills and competences if you want to rephrase them. And we did a kind of an exercise of hearing a skill, oh, this is very important, to get the feedback on that. And then we always managed to put these general skills. There was no skill that we were confronted with that didn't fit anywhere else. You know what I mean? So we had this because we wanted to have it a simple solution as well. And how do you make it comparable and easy to use and easy to grasp? If you look at your portfolio, if you have 641 different skills, so that's why I would always advise to think of the competences that you would like to see, and you have to map them to one of the competences that are already there, but explain them in the challenge itself. If that's something, it's useful if you say something about it. This challenge will be rated by, and then you say creativity, and by creativity we exactly mean this and that and so forth. So you can, I would always advise to write it in the challenge itself, but we couldn't allow you for a separate skill, because then it will burst your portfolio and it would it doesn't become easy to navigate anymore.
Oh.
Is that clear?
Yeah, clear. I'm just thinking at the same time. Yeah, about ideas, but I think, like I said, there are many opportunities to use it. So I will share it with some colleagues, and then I think we will discuss among it, like see what to do. And I think I also need to sleep one night and two, and maybe also come up with some nice ideas. But it seems to be such a great tool. And like I said, I already want to start like a challenge with my colleagues, like you did now, like how to have a more sustainable desk. Then you could actually use the tool for so many different things on different levels. Thank you.
Well, maybe I have a comment too. I don't know if I've finalized my thoughts about it, but again, with this more specific multi-helix approach in the SIRR project and multi-stakeholder things, we of course work a lot with these local networks. And I know Jens and I, for instance, have almost daily discussions about what it actually is we look for when people enter into a network. And extremely rarely it's these formal competencies and certificates or examination papers. It's very often other kinds of skills. And maybe this can be a good tool to get a better overview when you actually have people sitting at the same table and having these discussions, what kind of value, if you want, they bring to a development process. So I need to think more about this too, but I can see maybe that there could be parts of this that would fit into that challenge.
I think one challenge we could do is a storytelling challenge, for example, where we get those nice stories written down. So we could use it, for example, or something like that in the e-learning format that I showed, for example. That's something that could be done, and it's a challenge like within the project to finish it, and then you can get some like unique spins on what people have to tell about their places or something like that. And they could be themed as well. It could be sustainability, or it could be something about cultural history or something like that, or just a personal story.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I mean, because we have this storytelling workshops coming up. I don't know how they are being set up, and if but usually you have these exercises within those kind of workshops, and this is one field where VISKIO can be used to actually show the projects that the people have done and demonstrate their competences, and maybe have a nice opportunity to capture those storytelling results from this workshop, and also maybe use it then for dissemination if you want to share one or two with it. That's an idea. I don't know who's running those workshops again.
We have a team from Malmö University, primarily university, making this workshop setup. And we did have one in the Nordic part of the SIRR project a couple of weeks ago, and I think it was quite successful. At least the feedback we had from everybody was it was extremely positive. Even if the approach was maybe a little different from what you in general or normally think about storytelling, but we did work a lot about with different kinds of tools, and also maybe a little more activistic approach to storytelling. How can we change things with storytelling or creating narrative?
Well, no, I was part of a working group which we set up for the organization of the southern part of the storytelling workshop. And this working group, it was facilitated by Alistair. And so he's currently figuring out the entire schedule of it. But the workshop itself, it's it's organized by experts from the Malmö University. So I would assume that Kenneth and Alistair would be the right persons to talk to when it comes to implementing VISKIO in the workshop.
Yeah. I would find it for SIRR, I would find it very interesting if we could set up a hub challenge, and each that we can this demonstrates that we are working together on similar challenges as well. I think it needs a little bit of thoughts in that, but this can be one topic that can really benefit the SIRR project. If we say, okay, we have a similar challenge, and let's disseminate it through the hubs, and maybe people who are working with the hubs are dealing with that, and then we have kind of one overarching challenge and can show that we're working on similar problems and trying to share the results with each other as well. Because I think through the tool it makes this international working maybe a little bit easier, or just adds another aspect to it. Yeah, Emma?
Yeah. Maybe an idea about how to follow up on this could be actually to have a kind of mandatory workshop with project managers of the hubs and collect challenges together, because I think it's good if we agree together on the challenges to have, because then it's easier to get them on board. So maybe that could be like the next step, to agree on what to put in there. And I also agree with you, it would be cool to start with something connected to storytelling, like so people submit what have they done at hub level after the workshop and share their good examples. So that could also be really interesting. And I know that Charlotte is planning for presentation talk in March, a little bit in that topic, but we don't want to do too much before the second workshop has taken place. connected to storytelling or to like the outcome of the storytelling thing. But something connected to storytelling would be really great after the second workshop, I guess, then if you wanted to include the whole partnership at the same time. But I think a good idea maybe, or I'm interested to hear like all the local project managers, like what kind of challenges should we put in there if you want to use it in the project. Yeah.
I think that what could be useful there is what me and Charlotte discussed about how we should do with the storytelling before we reach or before people start writing their own stories, is to sort of create a framework, like a just easy one-pager of things that you should think about when you are storytelling. Like these are key aspects that you should like key takeaways or something that you should think about when you're writing your story, and this is how you kind of build it or something like that, so that people have a guide sort of to ease into it, because it can sometimes be a bit difficult also to know where to start or what is a good story or whatever. So we were thinking about creating something around that, and that could also be something that we do around these challenges, like that there is like a little bit of a questionnaire or something like that, and maybe some ideas of areas that are usually problems or hindrances, just to kind of get the creativity flowing. So before such a meeting, there is already like some common ideas that people go into and then discuss further or something like that. I don't know, just a thought.
Mhm.
I realized I have another meeting, so I should leave. But thank you for this, and see you soon, probably digitally. Bye bye. Have a nice weekend. Also.
Yeah. Bye. Have a nice weekend. Yeah.
I mean, let's. I will be within the SIRR group anyway, and have an eye on everything. I've written down your ideas, and if you come up with any thoughts or ideas or people who should see that, maybe you could let me know. I will be thinking of ways to how this could support the SIRR goal, and maybe we can use it now and there.
Oh, that sounds great. And thank you very much, Iris, for sharing this with us and for this seminar.
All right.
Great.
You get the last words.
Michael?
Or Michael?
Oh. Great.
Last word was that this